I seek to learn and share with you my own journey and path of learning and understanding on the level I am. The interpretation and views are my own. The Prophet, on Joy and Sorrow by Kahlil Gibran. And a woman said, "Speak to us of joy and sorrow." And he answered, "Your joy is your sorrow unmasked. And the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? And is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed with knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits with you at the board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. Verily you are suspended like scales between your sorrow and your joy. Only when you are empty are you at standstill and balanced. When the treasure keeper lifts you to weigh his gold and his silver, needs must your joy or your sorrow rise or fall. Now, as we turn to one joy and sorrow, we enter one of the most intimate truths of the human experience, that joy and sorrow are not opposites, they are two expressions of the same soul movement. Let's explore this together, not from a high pedestal, but from the place you're in, as a fellow seeker walking the path of understanding. On Joy and Sorrow, shared interpretation with Gibran as guide. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked. Reflection path, this feels like one of the deepest truths. Joy does not rise from nowhere. It grows where sorrow has softened the soil. When I feel most alive, most grateful, there's always something beneath it, loss, longing, even a wound that has taught me to value what is here now. Philosopher's view, Gibran collapses the binary. Joy and sorrow are not two poles, but two layers of the same experience, like shadow and light defining each other. Psychologists' lens, emotionally, we're taught to seek joy and avoid sorrow. But this causes repression and numbness. Gibran invites integration. To feel fully is to be fully alive. The selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. Reflection path, there are times I've laughed while crying or smiled at a memory that once broke me. The well inside is one, it holds both my grief and my gratitude. Philosopher's view, joy and sorrow are not successive events, they are echoes of the same presence. Every depth you've felt, whether from pain or beauty, makes the vessel more whole. Psychologically, this reflects emotional depth. The capacity to feel sorrow expands the capacity to feel joy. If we numb one, we diminish the other. The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Reflection path, pain has carved me, sometimes with a blade I didn't want to hold. But in the hollow left behind, there's room now for more tenderness, more awe, more presence. Philosopher's view, like a cup must be hollow to be filled, the soul must be carved by sorrow to hold joy. This is alchemical transformation, suffering refines the vessel. Psychologically, this is grief work. When we allow ourselves to feel and process sorrow fully, we unlock resilience, depth, and a profound sensitivity to the joy of simple things. When you are joyous, look deep into your heart. When you are sorrowful, look again. Reflection path, my moments of greatest joy are often tied to the things I've once feared losing, or actually lost. And in sorrow, I weep not just for the loss but for what it meant to me. They are never separate. Philosopher's view, every joy is tinged with memory, every sorrow remembers joy. This is the bittersweet truth of being human. We are not meant to live divided, but whole. They are inseparable. When one sits at your board, the other sleeps on your bed. Reflection path, I've lived this. Moments of happiness are often laced with the knowledge that sorrow could return. And in grief, I remember what joy once was. They are companions, not enemies. Philosopher's view, this is the yin and yang of Gibran's philosophy. To accept the full cycle of experience is to live without resistance. Psychologically, to repress either joy or sorrow leads to imbalance. Mental and emotional health comes from emotional fluency, the ability to hold both in the same breath. You are suspended like scales. Reflection path, life often feels like a balancing act between hope and hurt, between gratitude and grief. And yet, when I feel fully empty, not numb, but open, there is peace. Philosopher's view, Gibran portrays life as a sacred measurement. The soul is tested not by how much it avoids sorrow, but by how well it holds both sorrow and joy. Psychologically, this reflects the dialectical view of emotion. We are always moving between poles, and the ability to hold that tension is a mark of inner maturity. Only when you are empty are you balanced. Reflection path, emptiness here doesn't feel like absence. It feels like readiness, a state where I'm not resisting, just receiving. Maybe that's the heart of surrender. Philosopher's view, emptiness is not void, it's sacred receptivity. It is the soul's stillness that allows life to flow in and out freely. Psychologically, this is the state of mindfulness or radical acceptance, where we do not cling to joy or resist sorrow. In this, we find freedom. Summary, Gibran's truth on joy and sorrow theme. Gibran's message, joy and sorrow are one, they are twin expressions of the same soul. Suffering refines the soul, sorrow carves space for deeper joy, integration is healing, emotional maturity is holding both light and shadow, emptiness is sacred, stillness allows true presence, neither clinging nor resisting, be fully human, to feel deeply is to live truthfully. Final reflection, your journey is not about eliminating sorrow or chasing joy, it is about letting both move through you like breath. Every pain you've felt is a gate that has widened your heart. Every moment of joy is a reflection in the mirror of your grief. You are not broken, you are becoming whole. You are the cup, and life is the wine. And because you've been willing to be carved, you can now hold so much more. Thank you for sharing in my journey.